Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Late Night Interview with me, your host, Jim Smith. Our interview tonight is with one of the most fervently followed bands in the world of music today, Marilyn Manson. With the release of the eagerly anticipated fourth album, Mechanical Animals, the band's place within the portals of rock immortality has now been emphatically secured. In fact, the Marilyn Manson bandwagon just keeps rolling along unabated. Manson himself, or Brian Warner, as he's otherwise known, has become one of the most recognisable faces of 1999. Certainly no one can accuse him of being dull. Having already upset many political and religious groups with his claims of being the devil and portraying other satanic characteristics, the gothic-looking showman has certainly grabbed more than his fair share of media attention. His genius is the way that the band effortlessly combines the showmanship of the glam rock and heavy metal eras with an intense Bauhaus-type gothic musical style that offsets the imagery of the group perfectly. Probably not since Metallica have we seen an act followed with such a passion from an ever-increasing army of fans. The first single from Mechanical Animals, Dope Show, was one of the most eagerly awaited tracks of 1998 and proved to be well worth the wait, showing that previous hits like Sweet Dreams, Beautiful People and Tourniquet were by no means a fluke. It'll be very interesting to see what 1999 holds for Marilyn Manson. A lengthy tour of Europe is planned for the summer months, which will undoubtedly sell out in minutes, but only time will tell whether or not the band managed to consolidate and then build on their success without ever compromising their clear disdain for the commercial aspects of the music business. Hopefully we will manage to get a clearer insight into how this enigmatic and controversial fivesome operate as we listen to a fascinating and hugely funny interview with Marilyn Manson himself. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our late night interview with Marilyn Manson.
And there's Marilyn standing there just flipping us off. We haven't said one word to the guy.
Oh, he said he remembered the Twiggy incident when we were in New York and you called Twiggy Marilyn.
I think that's a nice start, Marilyn.
You know, I heard the Blur song you're just playing right now. It reminds me one of the stories that I didn't get to put in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex, the bass player from Blur, was on his way to do a live show about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with him. He was doing it at noon, but he hadn't gone to bed. It was about 11:30 in the morning.
This was the weenie roast then, when their gear got lost or something, right? Is that the story you're talking about?
That's probably alleged gear got lost.
Yeah,
Because I was with him until 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get me to come back to his hotel room to drink Jägermeister and trying to make out with whoever was there. I'm not sure if it was me or Twiggy. I like those guys. They're good.
They're good. They played this room, if you can believe it, and they got a lot of equipment. They played in this tiny little room, and it's about the loudest thing I've ever heard since we've been doing the show.
Speakers,
huge speakers, yeah. It's so funny, Marilyn, and I know you're used to this, but there's been a little buzz in the building that you were coming in on Friday morning, and then you've got the people that you probably run into all the time who just don't know what to make of your ass. Mm-hmm. Casey, who is an intern who works on this program, is just a bright young woman. She's like, I don't even want to be in the room. I'm creeped out by the guy. And I said, the guy's in showbiz. The guy's he's a rock singer, for God's sakes. What are you afraid of? People are afraid of you, Marilyn.
Well, I think they just don't understand. Some people should be.
Do you like that? Do you like that they're afraid of you?
I don't mind. I'd rather than they ignored me.
Yeah. Let's talk about this book, and you deal with some of that sort of thing in the book. We were really surprised to hear you had a book coming out because you're a young guy. You got a couple of records under your belt, but man, you've got a lot to say. You wrote.
You've had a hell of a life.
You have. You've crammed a lot in the last 4 or 5 years. That's for sure. This guy, your voice on it. I mean, you didn't farm this out to somebody. You have a co-writer, but I mean, it's all you pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I originally wanted to be a writer.
Weren't you in journalism school or something?
Yeah, I started out writing short stories and things like that, but then I got sidetracked and did this little band thing.
Yeah.
And then, I met the writer Neil Strauss. He interviewed me for Rolling Stone, and I thought he was gay, so I invited him into the hot tub with me. And I ended up getting a cover story, but he's not gay. I don't think.
But you still got the story. That's cool.
And then I thought I'd get him to kind of organize my ideas because, it's easy to write stories, but it's hard to kind of put your whole life into perspective. And it makes you think. Like when I finished the book, it kind of changed my opinion on myself. And I think it will drastically affect stuff that I do in the future, like our new album that we're working on.
What do you think of yourself these days? What is the self-assessment right now? Are you happy with where you are and what you're doing?
Can you say asshole on the radio?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I think in times I've been that.
Was the point of the book to set the record straight on all of the myriads of rumors that have been floating around for the last few years?
In some ways. because I just got sick of answering the same questions about being on the Wonder Years. And
how did that one get started?
God, we're tired of that one. We're not even you.
The two most popular rumors, which I even heard in Japan, were that I was on the Wonder Years and that I removed a rib so I could perform oral sex. But everyone
on
knows
yourself, right?
that Dave Navarro did that.
Funny you should bring that up. How about the breast implants? Is that true or is that a rumor?
Nah,
You're flat as hell. Those are bad breast implants, if that's the case.
Get your money back, man.
Jenny Jones gave me these breast implants.
Right. So, and of course, we reported weekly when on the last tour, who knew what was rumor and what was true, but the stuff that was being written about you and your band and your stage show was just the most ridiculous stuff I have ever seen. It was so obvious that these are people who have never been to a Marilyn Manson concert.
I gave them credit for being creative, though.
They were talking about you doing live sex on stage, and that you were. There was the one rumor on the Halloween show. Remember, you were going to commit suicide a couple of years ago, and people were really pumped for that.
Well, there's generally a rumor that I die about once every 2 weeks, so I have to just kind of keep press releases out. Sorry, I'm still alive.
Especially it's such a different world now that the internet is out there. I mean, those rumors can spread around the world in a day.
It's man has kind of created Big Brother for himself with the internet. It's.
Do you like it or do you hate it? Or do you care?
I think it's the CB radio of the 90s.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of idiots that are kind of hiding behind the secrecy, the anonymity.
Having said that, by the way, your fans, though, seem to really flock to the internet. I mean, you've got so much support on the web and so many groups that are devoted and dedicated to you.
It has the potential to be something great, but right now I think it's kind of dangerous because there's no law, there's no protection against what's real and what's not. And
which I would imagine you're a fan of, by the way.
Yeah, if people realize that it's just a tool for communication and it's not the news, then it's fine. But
bingo, yeah.
That's what the problem for me was last year. There were these Christian groups accepting these rumors as fact because they read it on the internet.
I heard you killed a guy on stage once. I heard that. I heard you, of course, everybody thought you killed a chicken, and that you talk about in the book was not true, for instance. Right. But man, they were just looking for anything. If you people knew, I don't know how much some of the listeners pay attention to what Marilyn has gone through just trying to mount a concert tour. Yeah. The lengths that these venues go to keep your band out of there is insane. Arbitrarily imposing curfews, for instance, and telling you, what lyrics and what songs and what T-shirts you can sell.
Or you can't talk between songs. And all that
I mean, I don't know of any artist who has had to endure what you have in the '90s. Certainly,
well, Mariah Carey, but other than her,
obviously. I mean, did you ever feel defeated by that? Did you ever feel like it was just too much trouble to go out and try to stage the show you wanted to do?
No, it really made it more exciting and more worthwhile because I felt like it had a cause, and I knew I wasn't doing those things. I knew that the show was provocative, but it wasn't what they were saying.
It was kind of challenging, kind of fun.
Yeah, there was the most dangerous part I would have to say is that there were a lot of bomb threats, and they'd bring in bomb dogs. Mm-hmm. But some people don't know bomb dogs are the same dogs that sniff out drugs.
Right.
So we were always paranoid when they had these dogs sniffing around our dressing room.
I'm sure.
They would always bark at Twiggy's face for some reason.
Well, I bark at Twiggy's face when I see him.
We come back. I want to talk about you as a kid because you write about a lot about that in the book.
All right.
For so many people like my dad who can't turn the TV off fast enough when Marilyn Manson comes on it because he's so grossed out by it. And he has asked me, what happened to that kid that made him grow up like that? The book answers some of those questions.
We'll talk about that. Plus, we got to talk about in your book, you've got a chapter on the rules.
The rules.
We have some questions about some of your rules.
All right. Have you ever tried riding a pig painted black really high on drugs, wearing a cowboy hat?
The pig or you?
Riding the pig?
Let me think about that. I don't believe so, no.
Bean has pigs, though.
I do have pigs, yeah.
Maybe he should try it.
Nothing like that going on. Hey, we're going to talk about, Kevin has something in your book he wants you to talk about here in a second, Marilyn. But let me just ask you this, because I need some clarification, because I'm a little confused. I did flip through the book. So you're a high priest in the Church of Satan, correct?
Name that.
That was
it's kind of unofficial?
Yeah,
one of those deals? Okay.
It was one of those things like when you get a Boy Scout badge, like for walking an old lady across the street, for being like the most evil guy in America. They gave me the.
Hey, congratulations!
Hey, way to go!
We're happy for you.
Good work. Parents must be proud.
Do you call home on something like that and go, Dad, I've got great news? The Church of Satan is it a real place that people can go? I mean, do they have congregations? And
no, it's more of just a philosophy that Anton LaVey died
recently,
last October.
That's right.
So I think his. To me, he's just like Nietzsche, Voltaire, Freud, all these people
he's just
who've
a
had
thinker.
thinker.
Right. But the church, this is the last point I'll make on this. The Church of Satan, though, is not devil worshiping, or is? Because the impression I got from your book is that it's not.
No, they don't even
it's
believe
not.
in Satan.
You don't?
It's not at all. I mean, it's
How can the Church of Satan not believe in Satan, for God's sake?
That seems ill-named.
It's they kind of adopted the title Satanism in kind of the definitive rebellion, like a Satan
Well, it works.
as being the definition of rebellion.
Do you think that they would be upset about the fact that you're wearing a gold scarf today?
I don't think so. I think gold scarves are a big part of Satanism.
Okay,
You
It
don't.
kind of diffuses.
It does diffuse.
It does, yeah.
You come in a gold scarf and go, hey, how much trouble can he cause? He's got a gold
And
scarf.
wouldn't the devil be wearing a gold scarf?
And he's
If you were-
stylish.
Point. That's a good point.
You don't believe in God?
I don't really believe in anything specific except myself. That's what I've learned over the years.
Heaven and hell, same thing, right? It's just
Heaven and hell
Whatever,
is kind of
right?
like 818 and 213.
very close together. Okay, cool. I'm clear on that.
The book is called The Long, Hard Road Out of Hell, and a lot of people who don't follow you very closely, this explains how you got to be who you are.
Yeah.
You want to give us kind of a thumbnail sketch of growing up as a kid with it's pretty religious trappings around you. Kind of forced you away from it, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess mostly in Christian school, they used to have these seminars every Friday where these ex-hookers and people who used to be in cults and things would come in, and they would talk about how rock music drove them to smoking pot and listening to Black Sabbath, and they'd play albums backwards. And that's where I
There was a
heard
whole
about,
backwards masking thing. They were going crazy at the time with the backward masking.
that's where I heard about all the cool bands that I would listen to. You know, they would play Queen backwards, and it was like some sort of anthem to make you become a homosexual.
Right.
Right.
We all know that works, right?
I mean,
So you went, hey, Queen, cool, I'll listen to it.
I'll listen to Queen, right?
this morning I listened to We Will Rock You, and I put on a gold scarf, so, you know, make
I think
your
that
own
proves the
judgments.
point, right?
There you go. You were a member of the KISS Army,
I was in the KISS Army.
were you?
I
And
was
I'm-
too.
You know, I met Gene Simmons recently, about 2 years ago, backstage, and he was in his full regalia, and he tried to have sex with my mother.
Oh, see, now you're just saying that.
You're just saying that.
That didn't happen.
No, it's honest. And I'll tell you, the good...
Yeah, but during the song, you told us you had sex with Kurt Loder, too, so we're not buying much of what you're saying here today, Marilyn.
He really did.
He did
He hit
not.
on my mom. And when I was a kid, my parents took me to KISS, and my father dressed as Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
And he did have sex with her. So I figured, Mom, why not just screw Gene Simmons?
Instead of right. See, here's the problem with Marilyn, and you find this out from the book. Like, you tell the story about having sex with Jenna Jameson, for instance, right?
Not necessarily.
Sort of, though. I mean,
That's what we found out.
Right. So we have Jenna on the show, and she had not heard the passage from the book, so we read it to her, and she said, "No, that didn't happen. We're just buddies." And then I read the chapter where you're having sex with Tracy Lords, and I kind of get the impression that didn't happen. So I'm
Oh,
trying
that
to
was a dream when I was...
It was a dream.
19.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I've had that dream. That's cool.
We've all had that dream.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on here because you've got some phenomenally interesting concepts about sex. It's pretty much anything goes with you, right, Marilyn?
Not necessarily. I'm pretty conservative. I like sometimes...
You are not pretty conservative. See what I'm talking about?
I'm pretty conservative.
I don't have sex with animals.
Good.
Okay, good.
Although that may
Thank God.
surprise some people, that's good. All right.
I've
You
had
have
sex when there's animals in the room.
right, but they're not involved.
Yeah, but so has beans.
They're watching.
Right,
I
right.
think that's wrong, though, because it traumatizes it. You get a little
I
dog,
agree.
and he's watching. His eyes are getting all big.
I agree. If I had sex ever, I would have the dog leave the room. Now, but a lot of sex though. I mean, you got to, I mean, the book is chapter after chapter of this woman, this woman, this man, this man. I mean, there's a lot of that going on.
No.
Yes.
You're glamorizing it.
No, I'm not. It's accurate. You're having tons
exploiting
of
me.
sex. How many
It's
people have you,
impossible to exploit you, isn't it?
how many people you had sex with in the last 5 years? Do you reckon?
Just one.
500? Would you say 500 is an accurate number?
Absolutely not.
300?
Absolutely not.
Come on, give me a
I'll tell you
rough
what,
About
idea.
last 5 days.
No. I have a girlfriend now, and I don't have sex with her.
She's a good-looking woman, by the
Wait
way.
a minute. Why don't you have sex with her?
I'm not allowed
Because
because the dogs are in the room.
Tests haven't come back yet. That's why. If it's a woman I talk about, I don't recall her name, but she's very actress, right?
Yeah.
Good-looking woman, yeah. But in the last 5 years, though, it's been hundreds of people that you've had sex with.
No, that's not true. If you read the book,
Marilyn, it is true. Come on,
If you read the book, you're confused.
dude.
that's not true.
Dude,
No, no.
don't try. Even if I'm wrong, man, go with it.
No.
all right,
all right.
let me read from your book on the chapter on homosexuality and the chapter on rules.
Oh, this confused us. We were talking about this earlier in the week. Yeah.
I think our philosophies are radically different on this one. My philosophy about sexuality is I don't have a problem with anything anyone does in any way. All I ask is that you know the rules. I have given oral sex to several men. which a lot of straight guys won't admit to having done or wanting to do. But just like kissing a girl can't get her pregnant, giving oral sex to a guy doesn't make you gay unless you break rule number 3, which is if you get excited while you're doing it, then you're gay.
Okay, here's
That's
what.
absolutely right.
No, if you're slarving the dode, Marilyn, you are gay.
Let me give you an example.
You really are.
You're just gay.
Now, see, if you're
I'll go one
performing-
further. Let me
No,
go
listen.
one further. If you're not repulsed by it, even if you don't do it, you're gay.
No, you guys are too sensitive. If you perform oral sex and there's no sort of arousal, say for example, this would be the case.
Okay.
I'm bored backstage. You know, Twiggy and I were having a few shots of whiskey,
Gay.
and
No, they're not gay yet. They're not gay yet. Wait till we get to the
and
part.
we have a chat. I say, I dare you
Right.
to perform oral sex on me. So he takes a condom and puts it on and puts it in his mouth.
Yeah.
And we all
Gay.
laugh and
Gay.
it's done.
G-A-Y.
No,
Capital
that
G,
doesn't make
capital
you
A,
gay.
It
capital
does.
Y.
What if,
You know,
if sex with a man does not make you gay,
That's
what
not
does?
sex.
Yes,
That's a good point. That's part of the definition.
Oh, let me ask you this.
How is
okay.
that not sex?
Say your intern over here
Casey?
just came over
Casey, would you
And-
step up? Would you mind being part of the exhibit here?
and just fondled your genitals for a few minutes, but you weren't aroused.
Right.
Is that sex?
Yeah.
Dead.
No.
Yeah, maybe you're dead. Yeah. There are some other things in this book on how you know you're gay. If Michael Stipe is in the room with you and you're having sex with a woman, you're bisexual.
That's absolutely true.
I think that one might be true. Yeah, I think that is true.
Because that's me in the corner. That,
All from
see?
the song. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
If you're at a gay bar, you're not gay. But if you're at a straight bar and you talk to another guy longer than you talk to a girl, you're gay.
You're gay.
Absolutely right.
I'm with that. Okay.
You're talking about talking to a guy instead of a girl makes you gay, but not performing oral sex.
Gay's not about sex. It's a state of mind.
So the sex can happen as long as the state of mind isn't gay.
You can be gay and you can be a virgin. See?
Well, yeah, that's
Sex
true.
doesn't really have anything to do with
That's
being
true.
That is true. Actually, I hadn't thought about that.
If you've ever worn a beret.
I think that's just common sense.
That's pretty good myself. This is a funny ass book. If you've had,
Hey, isn't Mother's Day coming up just around the corner? Maybe Marilyn Manson's book would be an outstanding gift for Mom.
Oh, my mom would
My
have
mom
a
read it.
heart attack.
yeah, your mom
My mom
read
read
it. Yeah, but your mom also had sex with Gene Simmons.
Hey, what did your mom think of the book? Did she like it?
Well, she doesn't
Was
like
she-
that I mentioned the fact that she lets her pet rats crawl around in her brassiere.
Thought about that when I saw you on Letterman last week, and you were talking about that, and I thought, Mom's not into that.
No.
You're not a huge Smiths fan, I take it.
You know what I am? I
Oh, you
have
are?
a lot of Smiths albums.
If you have any kind of sex with a male or female and you're listening to the Smiths, you're gay.
You're gay. I agree with that. That makes sense to me.
That's pretty good. If you're friends with anyone named Dick, gay. If you have sex with a girl who likes the Smith, you're gay.
One of my favorite ones, if I can point out since
Sure.
we're on the subject.
Certainly.
If you have sex with a pregnant woman and she's pregnant with a boy,
Oh, my
you're
God.
gay. And,
technically, yes.
and if some of your special
Yes.
Yes, we understand.
ingredients
Yes.
touch the child
Yes.
while it's in the womb,
Oh, geez.
he's going to grow up to be gay.
That's how it
Is
works.
that how it happens?
I think Marilyn needs to go on a school tour.
This is all in the in Chapter 9, the rules of the long, hard road out of hell. Marilyn Manson. We need to take another break. We'll come back with Marilyn and tell you how you can meet him.
By the way, yeah, okay, that's good. We'll do that. And we got to talk. I want to talk about the drugs too, Marilyn, because I'm getting concerned about you, my friend. From reading the book, I'm getting concerned that you don't have much time left with the way you're going through the powder and everything. All right, so we're gonna have some sort of intervention here today. We're gonna help you out, pal.
All right.
That's what he's looking
You're
for.
gonna be all right.
All right.
You're going to get Dave Navarro on the three-way. We'll talk.
Maybe we'll do that.
We'll talk it out.
8:49 now, buddy. How are you?
I'm having a horrible flashback as I hear that song to watching Marilyn Manson perform that on the MTV Video Music Awards last year.
Yeah,
when he whipped off the coat and turned around and we had to look at his bare ass for 10 minutes.
That makes you gay.
That's what I'm afraid
No,
of.
because we didn't enjoy it. I think we looked away right away. So that makes us not gay.
Marilyn Manson is in the studio.
If you're two guys together,
And you see someone
Watching
else's
it.
ass.
Oh man, that's
Damn
very
it.
frightening.
I was
and
hoping
you're
I
not with
wasn't-
girls,
I think we failed the test, dude.
You know what else I saw? Let me say this real. Are you going to give the?
Yeah, I just want to give the information for Marilyn's fans. He has a new book out called Long Hard Road Out of Hell. It's a terrific read, by the way. And February 20th, that's tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Tower Records, Sunset. Marilyn is going to be there signing books at that location. But here's the thing. You have to buy your books at Tower to have them signed by Marilyn there. And that's what he'll be signing is the autobiography. I guess you don't want to get involved in people bringing down their records and stuff like that. So we're moving books. It's tomorrow night. Meet Marilyn Manson starting at 6 o'clock. And you told me you've been staying like 2, 3, 4 hours, right? Whatever. As long as you can, I guess.
yeah.
So you'll meet a lot of fans out there tomorrow night. All right, go ahead, Kevin.
Marilyn always puts on a good show. I saw you guys at it was September. It was the MTV Awards at that time in '96, and you did some little club with 9 Inch Nails. It was the
right.
Nothing Night or something
Right.
like that, and I was there. And you were on stage, and about halfway through the show, you picked up your microphone stand and you threw it at your drummer.
I was trying to hit Courtney Love, who was standing backstage.
Is that true?
No.
No, the base.
Nothing he says is true.
The base of the microphone stand, which is very heavy, hit the drummer right between the eyes, and they had to pull him out in the middle of the stage. He was bleeding. I thought, man, this is a great show. And then
The special effects are awesome.
Yeah, I thought like it was part of the show, and it turns out the guy, he spent the night in the hospital or something like that?
Yeah, you know.
Your book has a lot of memorable concerts. It seems like fires are breaking out and people are getting hurt all the time, pretty much. And it's weird. It's in the band. It's not in the mosh pit. It's actually up on stage. All the injuries are happening.
That's a concert.
You don't get that at a lot of
is a
shows.
concert, yeah.
Hey, speaking of shows, we got to go to Tad downstairs real quick. He is at Adults Restaurant in Burbank. Tad, you're there for the Ben Folds 5 breakfast?
Yes, sir. How
And
you guys doing?
We're doing fine. Is the band there?
Yeah, the band is here.
Band is sound checked already?
Yeah,
And a lot of folks are showing up?
a lot of folks. We're having a standing room only.
Okay, and what did you need to know?
Marilyn, can
Yes.
you hear me? Ben Fold 5 wants to meet you. The band.
The word folds worries me.
Because
It's too sexual.
It sounds very sexual.
Yeah,
I'm
think I'm
against
with you.
it.
I think I'm with you there.
I'm so completely against it.
All right, what do you want Tad to tell him then?
If he brings me a sandwich,
all right, if he brings a
we could
sandwich.
arrange
What
some
kind of
sort
sandwich do
thing.
you want?
He's in a restaurant. We can get you a sandwich.
Oh, we can hook up.
That's all right.
Marilyn is. What do you do? How do you handle this? You're just busy. I guess you're incredibly busy. You got a very tight schedule. He's got to do the Regis and Kathy Lee show in 30 minutes, so he's got to go.
Oh, okay.
Well, the problem is I'm going to the mall to get an airbrushed a T-shirt of 311.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, Tad. We'll see you down there in a few minutes. It's sad because these events just happen to have happened on the same day today, with Marilyn in town and then Ben Folds 5 in town, and some of your fans waiting for you downstairs just beat up like 10 of the Ben Folds 5 fans. I just heard. It's the word I'm getting in my earplug.
I'm in. That's a good thing.
I'm curious about you. You seem like a big contradiction because A, you seem like a bit of a gay basher, and B, you seem like you're a bit gay.
Oh, I'm not a gay basher. I'm just making the rules clear.
I see.
You know,
All right.
I think it's okay to be gay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to encourage you guys. Just come out.
Well, Marilyn, we have one
The
problem with
difference
that.
between you and us is that we've never performed oral sex on a man, nor do we want to.
But look,
really.
there's two guys, sensitive guys, in a room all day together. You've got pink pigs on your shirt.
Right.
And
Well,
you're
he's
wearing
gay.
shorts.
No, Bean's gay.
I'm not gay.
Bean is extremely gay.
Okay?
I'm with you on that.
Hey, you keep bringing up Dave Navarro. You guys have got some sort of war of the words going on in the press, and I can tell you're enjoying very much. Why is that? You guys are friends.
We're friends, yeah.
And it also...
I think he was mad at me.
And
Not
you,
because of the book.
right.
Over a different thing.
You've seen him in the Rolling Stone. You've seen his quotes in the Rolling Stone, the current issue,
Yeah,
right?
I heard about it.
What does he say?
He basically goes back to the story about, I guess, what was the story that he offered to perform oral sex on you backstage one time? Was that what it was, Marilyn?
No, it was at a Nancy Berry's party.
Okay, and what happened? Who did what to who?
Nothing happened.
Who offered what to who?
He did.
He offered to you.
I turned him down. He has a beard.
Right. Well, understandable then. So what he's saying
That
then...
could be painful, I
So
imagine.
the impression I got from his thing in Rolling Stone was that now he thinks that bothers you somehow, and that's why he keeps bringing it up. He keeps the thing alive. And then at the end of the thing, he says, you've got like a shelf life of 1.5 years left, and you're prancing around being Mr. Scary or something like that. It seemed pretty derogatory for...
Well,
Or that's just the kind of relationship you have.
Yeah. It's fun.
So you're cool with Dave.
Yeah. Now look at him. He doesn't know which band he's in. He should join Ben Folds 5.
Now that would be a show. Now Dave looks like he's about 3 months away from a heroin overdose.
I don't think he does heroin.
Really? What kind of drugs do you do, Marilyn?
I try and stay away from them all right now.
Really? Is that true? You're clean right now?
No. Do you believe it?
Do I?
You keep believing what he says.
That man is just a liar.
How foolish are you?
Cocaine? You like cocaine?
I don't think anyone likes it because it makes you poop your pants.
You do enormous quantities, though, in some chapters in this book, though. I mean, you really pack the stuff away.
You just used the words "poop your pants."
I know he did. But I read a quote from you in the paper or something this week where you talked about how you're not an addict.
No,
and you're
not.
pissed off at drug addicts, right?
I just think you should be able to be a professional drug user. If you're going to use drugs, do them right.
Do it safe. Don't be an addict. Don't be addicted to it so that you become a loser.
Yeah, sure.
You're for the legalization of all drugs?
Oh, that wouldn't be any fun.
So you like to do it because it's illicit?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
I see. You've done it. Have you ever had a scary situation where you've been like really sick from doing too much? Because it sounds like sometimes you just really overdo it in the book.
Well,
any regrets on that?
There's a couple instances in my past.
When have you gotten really sick? And
I never really got sick. It wasn't that type of a drug thing.
you just have you must have an amazing constitution.
Yeah, well, being on tour, you become sort of superhuman in a lot of ways.
I mean, Marilyn looks healthier than 80% of the guests we have in here. And with the way he lives his life, it's incredible.
That's the key. You make your body a place where germs don't want to live.
I like that.
That's good advice.
I like that, Kiki.
Okay, before we head on over to the restaurant for the Big Ben Folds 5 breakfast, by the way, you're welcome to join us. Come on over, Marilyn, if you want to. I know you're a big fan.
I've got some important
thing to do,
sleep.
right?
Sleep.
Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Tower Records. Marilyn's going to be signing copies of the new book. It's very entertaining book, Long Hard Road Out of Hell. It's real good. You ought to check it out. And you are in the studio right now here in Los Angeles working on a new record. How's that going?
We're about halfway done. Like I was saying early on, writing a book kind of changes the way you think. So the last album and the book were very transformational for me. And I think this record will be something people don't really expect.
Like religious, you were saying. It's not religious.
No,
for
it's
God's
not.
sakes.
It's not.
But you said you
religious.
put hand claps on it. Was that a lie too?
Well, I put hand claps on a song. You know, it lightens things up.
People get happy. You were telling us off the air. Was that off the air or on the air? I'm getting confused now that people get happy when they hear hand claps.
It makes people smile.
I think that'll be good.
That's what you're all about too. That's
Now the record's more. The last album was about stripping away all emotions. This one is kind of about what it's like when they come back, and it's like being a person that doesn't belong in a world. So it's I think it's something that people won't be expecting.
That brings up a question about being a person in a world where you don't belong. How do you think? I don't know if it's even possible to answer this question, but how do you think you would have turned out if you grew up in a family that was just apathetic about religion one way or the other? Do you think it would have been completely different?
It's possible. You know, it's hard to second guess how you would have turned out. But
because you only know the life you live.
My parents are still married.
That's
so
cool.
I have a real normal kind of family.
You got a real close relationship with them? They proud of you?
Yeah, they do know. I mean, my dad didn't think I was going to amount to much as a kid.
Oh, he was right, though. The money was on his opinion. Let's be honest. There's nobody who would have bet against him looking at you. Now, when you started this band like 10 years ago now or something like that, or close to it seems like,
yeah.
did you have an idea of what was what the goal was? Was it to be hugely successful, or was it to make enough to get by, or what?
I still haven't really reached the goal that I kind of set out for.
What is it?
You have no problem being immensely popular, though. I mean, that's something that appeals to you, right?
I think it's important to be a part of popular culture if you have an important opinion, because there's so many things out there that are so mediocre.
Right on.
That if you've got a strong mind, it's important that you blend with the mainstream so you can affect it, rather than just watch it go by.
I'm so happy that guys like Marilyn are out there. It does make the world a much more interesting place, doesn't it? Hey, did you see them mention you at the Grammys this week?
Yeah, something about
because
my
I think I have the piece of tape from Kelsey Grammer.
But I do know music. I managed to stay more current than you'd think, thanks mainly to my 14-year-old daughter, Spencer, who has exposed me to the likes of Radiohead, Veruca Salt, and the subtle artistry of Marilyn Manson. Speaking of Manson, you have my word as a gentleman that you will not be seeing his bony white ass on stage tonight.
But that's what you're going for, man. That's a thumbs up.
But I got a nice ass.
Yes,
right.
you do.
See?
We saw it.
You guys
in the
just
TV
agreed.
thing. Huh?
You know what that means? You just agreed with me.
No, I didn't say I got excited.
No.
You have a
You
nice
did
ass.
admit he had a nice ass.
Yeah,
though.
but I didn't get excited.
You're gay,
You
Kevin.
want to check me?
You're
I'm not
gay.
excited. Listen, we have 20 questions.
It's okay.
All right, last thing before you
It's
go, Marilyn, because
okay.
I know you got to get to sleep.
Can we
20
do
questions.
20 questions with Marilyn Manson. We like to do this with our guests. I'll just throw out the questions. You say the first thing that comes to your mind, which in your case might be a mistake. 20 questions with Marilyn Manson. Are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes.
What do you think of Eddie Vedder?
I saw him recently, and he was brown and had a beard. He looked like a Mexican migrant worker.
Were you in the school band?
Yeah, I played the triangle.
What is your favorite cartoon?
I guess I'm going to go with the popular South Park.
Do you think Jesus really had a beard?
I think Jesus was the first sex symbol, and he may or may not be similar to Eddie Vedder.
Name 3 characters from The Cosby Show.
Willis, Kimberly, and Arnold.
That's right, oddly enough.
Amazing.
Have you ever baked anything?
Does crystal meth count?
Sure. What do you think of Courtney Love?
She's going to find a way to edit my comment somehow. She'll go back in time.
No matter what it is you say?
Yeah, no matter what I say. So I think she's just great.
How old do you think you'll get?
I never think about things like that.
When was the last time you got punched?
I guess yesterday, because we were in the studio and I threw some whiskey in my Twiggy's face and he punched me.
He's the most tolerant man in America, that Twiggy. The fact that he shows up for work every day is a miracle.
Which is your favorite Winter Olympic event?
I don't like sports at all.
Which is your favorite Spice Girl?
I like the fat one.
Ginger, yeah. Chubby Spice, sorry.
Chubby Spice. What did you dress as on Halloween?
A cowboy.
Do you reckon you'll ever have kids?
In what way?
Smells like children.
Do you reckon you'll ever use the word reckon?
No.
No. Would you rather hang out with a guy named Rob or a guy named Chuck?
That's some weird inside radio
No,
joke.
we just
there.
said
No, it's not. It's not. No.
If it's Rob Lowe, I would ask him to play me that videotape that he did
There
a
you
couple
go.
years
Good.
back.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Have you ever been called cute?
Yeah, cute's not a good word.
Have you ever gone fishing?
I did go fishing as a kid
Really?
a couple times.
And what do you think of Tony Orlando and or Don?
Personally, I'm more Captain and Tennille than
I'm with
Tony
you.
Orlando.
I'm with you there.
That's the way we figured.
That's right.
We took bets
Figured that.
earlier. We figured you'd go Captain.
The hat.
20 questions with Marilyn Manson. Marilyn, you have been a terrific guest. We've really...
And I'm afraid that's all we have time for as well this evening. Our thanks go out to Marilyn Manson, who is certainly an entertaining individual. So don't forget to join me, same place, same time next week, for another edition of Late Night Interview. Good night.